Good evening everyone. Tonight I'm going to be making meatballs from scratch. Now with my meatballs I'm going to be serving it with some penne pasta. Just got some from the supermarket and my homemade tomato sauce. So to make this sauce it's really simple. You need 4 small truss tomatoes, 1 small brown onion diced, 1 clove of garlic, or if you're like me and you just keep the minced garlic on hand, about a teaspoon. I've got a roasted garlic here from Aldi, it's pretty good. Then to that I add 250 ml of vegetable stock, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of raw sugar, and some salt and pepper to taste, and any herbs you like. So the herbs I generally use is either rosemary, basil, or oregano. This one's got basil, and I'd probably put about 10 to 15 leaves in there. So to start off by making this, I put 1 tablespoon of olive oil into a large fry pan. I saute off my diced onions, add in my garlic and tomato paste, and stir that around for about 30 seconds. That just kind of cooks off the raw taste of the tomato paste. Next thing I would do is dice up my tomatoes, add in my stock, the salt and pepper and the basil, and once that's cooked for about 20 to 30 minutes, I give it a taste. If I feel that it needs a little bit of sweetness, that's when I'll add in the sugar, and you can adjust the salt and pepper as you need and the herbs as well. So once that's done, I usually blend it, but I'll show you this one again. This one is chunky, so you can see little bits of green in there. That's the basil. So I'll put that aside, and now I'll make the meatballs. So to start with these, I've got 500 grams of 5-star beef mince. You can use a mixture of beef and pork if you like. I'm going to put in half a cup of breadcrumbs. Maybe just a little bit more, and I'm going to put in 1 egg, so you just crack it straight into the bowl. And for extra flavour, first I've got my minced garlic, so I'm going to do about 1 teaspoon of that roasted minced garlic, and something that you wouldn't expect, some Dijon mustard. Just got the master foods there, any sort of Dijon mustard. And we want 2 heaped teaspoons of Dijon mustard in there. And for my salt and pepper, just some cracked black pepper and some Himalayan pink salt is what I have, that I've always got on hand. As little or as much of this as you like. And just some herbs. So I've got some fresh basil straight from the garden, so I'm just going to pick out some of the best leaves and put those straight in. Probably about 8 to 10, and you can tear these up a little bit if you like. Just rip them with your fingers, and then yeah, that should be enough. All I'm going to do now is just mix that through with my hands. So the egg is what will bind this all together. Once I've made these meatballs, I'm going to saute them, I'm going to cook them in the pan on high heat, just for about 1 minute on each side, sort of to make sure that they're brown. And once they're brown, I'm going to cover them with my tomato sauce, homemade tomato sauce. And then once they're cooked, or almost cooked, I'll put in my pasta following the packet instructions. Now this one says it's 11 minutes, so I just need to time it right so it's all done at the same time. And then once that's done, I'm just going to pour the meatballs over the pasta and serve, and maybe top with some Parmesan cheese. So as you can see, that's mixed really well together. Now by turning it like this and just squeezing that meat together really helps to bind it. And then all you want to do is just grab a handful of your mixture and make a little meatball. And I'm just going to fill this container here with my meatballs, and I'm going to cook them. So I want them to roughly be the same size. I've gotten pretty good at measuring. You can use scales, just line it with some bit of cling wrap. Forgot the word there. Bit of cling wrap will help you to keep it clean and let you measure them out so they're all the same size. Once they're all done, we're going to go and cook these over there. So I'll keep going with these, and then I'll come back. Alright, so I'm ready to fry off my meatballs, and I've got 16 here, roughly about the same size. And I've got a hot pan with a little bit of olive oil, and I'm just going to drop these into the pan. And I just want to brown these a little bit on one side, and then I'm going to roll them gently around, just so they can get brown on all sides. And then I'm going to add in my sauce. So I don't want to add in too many at a time. I've probably put in too many now. I've got about 10 in there. I'm just going to grab something to mix them around with. So I'm just going to use this and gently turn them over as they start to brown. Once they've started to brown and you've turned them over, just add in the rest of your meatballs. And I'm going to continue to cook these until they're all done. Now I'll come back and add in my sauce. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, so my meatballs have started to brown, and I'm just going to add in the sauce now. So I'll just show you that before I put it in. Nice thick chunky sauce. Just need to mix it a little bit because it sort of separates a little bit when defrosting. And I'm just going to pour the whole thing straight into the pan. And I've currently got my pan on a medium-high heat. And I'm just going to gently move that around and try and coat the meatballs as much as possible. And once I've done that, I'm going to put a lid on this and just leave it to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes until the meatballs are done. I'm not a good judge of when they're cooked, so I usually just cut one open and see. And it's usually about 15 minutes. So yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'll cover these over now and come back to them and check them in about 15 minutes. Hey, so I'm back and I'm ready to dish up my meatballs. So I've just got half a packet of penne pasta that I've cooked, and my meatballs are ready to go. So I'll just try and show you that. Lovely meatballs and sauce. And just in addition to the sauce, I decided that I needed a bit more sauce. So I've added in half a jar of this Sugo basil cherry tomato from Coles. It's one of my favourites. So if you make a sauce and it's not very good, or you just think, oh, it needs a bit of something else, or you haven't got enough, chuck in half a bottle of this. It's delicious. It'll make it really good. And I've just cut open one of my meatballs. 15 minutes they cook for, so that's perfectly done. So I'll just give that a taste. Yeah, that's a good meatball. So to finish this off, everything just needs to come together. So all I'm going to do is just pour my meatballs and sauce over the top of my pasta. And then to finish off, I just got a blend of mozzarella, Colby and Parmesan cheese. That's all I had in the fridge. And I'm just going to put some of that on top. And then we will be ready to serve. So this is looking pretty good. Once I get all the meatballs in, I can just tip the rest of that sauce over the top. Let's do this without burning myself. Here we go. Beautiful. That's pretty much it for the sauce. Look at that, delicious. And to finish off some cheese. And you know what, just to make it a bit extra special, put a bit of basil on top. There you go. Lovely. Alright, thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Bye.